Right, I think it's working. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Paul Grogan, and this is one of my live unboxings. I've done a few of these, and they're surprisingly popular, so I'm doing this one. Now, this is the first time that I'm actually streaming both to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for everybody watching on YouTube. That is appearing on screen now. Good afternoon. Oh, and there's echo, yes, because my name is Paul Grogan. There was a minute. I've got it playing in the background. I've done a few of these, and they're surprisingly popular, so I'm doing this. There you go. Right. Okay. So no more echo because I have turned it off. Yeah, I'm also live streaming for the first time to the Board Game Revolution Facebook group. Thank you very much, Thomas, for inviting me to do this. Don't worry, I won't be live streaming all of my videos because I do, well, yeah, sometimes I do like 10 or 15 a week. It's just an experiment. It's the first time I've live streamed to this Facebook group. So hello to everybody for watching. I can see your chat messages there. I don't have a way of getting your chat messages from the Facebook group onto the actual stream itself. If there's a way of doing that and somebody knows how to do that, then let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to crack on. So if you're in the chat, yeah, let's start some discussion about Tapestry. Whether you like it or not, because I've always been curious about this game, and I'll be honest with you, I've heard mixed things about it. One of my friends says it was his game of the year, and a lot of other people have actually gone, it's not that great. There was also some criticism of the game because after it came out, there was a lot of races that some of the races were nerfed. I'm going off information that I've heard people talking about. I've not actually read the rules of this game. And I don't know that much about it apart from what everybody else has said. But it's one that I've always been keen on trying. And then Stonemaier Games reached out to me and said, would you like a copy of the expansion to cover on your channel? And I said, well, that would be great. However, I haven't actually got the base game. So they said, well, we'll send you the base game. We'll send you this. And at some point, I will be getting around to playing it. I don't know when. It may even be December or January because of my current schedule of work. Let's just flip to the Facebook comments so that I can see. The mat. Yes, David commented to the mat. So this is my game topper. Where's the remote control gone? There's the remote control. Oh. So this is my game topper, and this is the scythe-inspired mat. That you can see here, which I used for the Pillars of the Earth game the other day, and I figured it was appropriate. There's my bottle of water and my spoon as well. Anyway, yeah, Tapestry. Let's get on and do the unboxing, and let's see what's in it. So yeah, there's a few things that I know about it. Johan says, my guess is that you're not going to like the rulebook. Well, that's interesting because I have read a couple of other rulebooks from Stonemaier Games and I found them okay. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Apparently, I'm not going to like the rulebook, but we will see. I mean, there is a solo mode in this game as well, so this might be one that I can cover on the channel before I can have people around. Although we're starting in the UK to be able to start having people around now. They keep changing the rules on us. Okay, so first thing is we have a board which is in its own plastic wrap. We have these. We have the cards. We have a plastic insert. I'm just going to have to switch away from YouTube so I can see my own stream. There you go. And we've got the miniatures. Now, the miniatures is another thing that I've heard people talking about, in that they are nice, they do look nice, but they're not really necessary. And obviously, miniatures like this, which I'll show in a minute, they're going to add to the cost of the game. So Thomas is saying the game was mediocre at best, but some might like it. Yep. As I say, that's what I've heard. A lot of people saying, yeah, it's really good, and I don't know why it gets the criticism, and a lot of other people just going, well, it was okay, but it wasn't great. So it's one of those ones, a little bit like Pendulum, which is over there, which I am personally curious about myself. Now, I grew up playing Avalon Hill Civilization, so I've always got a soft spot for Civilization games, and that's my first question to people in the chat. What is the play mat? This is the Scythe-inspired mat from Game Toppers. So yeah, my first question to you in the chat is, if you've played this game, is it a Civ game? Or is it not a Civ game? Okay, because I know technically it is a Civ game, but you know, if you play lots of Civ games like me, is it really a Civ game? I've heard that it's not. Right, let's crack on with the unboxing. Let's see what we've got. So we have some playboards. Now these are similar to what's in Pendulum, in that one side is smooth, and the other side is actually quite rough. Now, in Pendulum, I felt that it really it didn't feel very nice. These are okay. This is a nice texture. It's not as rough as the ones in Pendulum. And apparently it's so you can put plastic pieces on them and they don't move around. Not a Civ game. It's a Civilization themed game. Yes, that's what I've heard. It's not Nations. My phone thing keeps falling off. There you go. You can tell, first live stream I've done in 4 days. It's I had to do my hair just for this. Right, anyway, so we have these. Now, again, not having played the game, I can't tell you what these are, but they look like terrain types, because it says on the top. Okay. Got a board here. So this is a good thickness, but it's got a little bit of bend in it. So thickness of cardstock doesn't always equate to, yeah, how good the quality is. It's okay, but yeah, it's a little bit bendy. Right, so these are the player boards. Again, they've got the texture on one side. Andrew Bosley artwork, which is really nice. Maker of Fire. Okay, so yeah, these are the player boards. Presumably you have technologies on there. I will know more when I've read it. Right, okay, now onto these punch boards, and let's do Paul's punch test. Am I going to go from the front or the back? Let's go from the front. Oh, okay, that's okay. Yep, that's okay. Yep, we're all right there. So they're punching out mostly okay, yeah. Okay, so they're punching out okay. You don't need to go from the back, which sometimes you have to. If they don't punch out cleanly, I find punching from the back is a safer way of doing it. So they're okay. They're fairly sturdy. They're a decent thickness. Yep, okay, so that's them. We've got what, 1, 2, 3 of those. 3 of those. Let's get that out of the way. Right, what else have we got? We've got the main board. Oh, it's two-sided. Is that based on player count? Let's have a look. I'm looking for something that indicates player count. Yes, 4+ players. So that's the 4+ players side, and that is the 1 to 3. Yeah, because it takes up to 5 players. So there you go. So player board, not player board, main board. I like the fact that it's got rounded corners. That's not something you see very often. In fact, I don't even know if I've seen that before or not. Let's just zoom out a bit. Yeah, larger map for more players, says Jim. Yeah. But yeah, have you got any games with rounded corners on the board? Because I don't think I have. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. Thomas is saying that I can't see the questions on here. So yeah, I'm flipping between YouTube and Facebook, so I can't always see the questions. But yeah, the mat is from Game Toppers. Anyway, that's the main board. Right, let's have a look at the cards. Okay, well, getting into the cards is good. Sometimes if they don't put that peely thing, it's really difficult to get in. Let's just zoom in. And also, if I'm watching this back on Facebook, I've got my monitor to the left of me, which is why I keep looking to the left. If I'm watching this on the Facebook feed, it's like 10 seconds delayed. So I'm not seeing exactly what I'm seeing. So cards. Okay, they're fine. They've got a nice, it's a little bit of a linen finish, I think. My eyesight's going. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a linen finish, but not too much texture on them. They seem clear. Font size is good. Iconography looks clear. Now, one of the things that Modern Games has been doing recently is they've been putting more of a focus on the artwork. And that's okay, as long as you don't lose functionality in the game. There's a few games recently, and I'm not going to name them because I can't remember, where so much space on the card has been given to artwork that you end up with really tiny text and really tiny icons, and it's sacrificing, you know, usability and functionality just for the sake of showing the artwork. These, although certainly for this card here, you can see most of the card is artwork. I can read that at the bottom, and if I can read that, then it should be okay. They haven't gone with really tiny text. Yeah, and the box is bigger when it needs to be. So that seems fine. That's all of those cards, whatever they are. Okay, player aids. And then something else. Who knows? Who knows what they are? Right, so that's the first deck of cards. The expansion doesn't change the swinginess from what I've read. Right, that's according to Thomas. So yeah, so what I know about the game is that they released a whole series of patch updates for it after it came out. And you know, I'm in two minds about that. Stone Mary is a big company and they do games that are popular and that sell well. One train of thought is they should have play tested this game. They should have developed this game more before releasing it. And I can totally understand that. But being involved in the gaming industry and being a game developer myself, you just can't do as many playtests as you need to do before a game gets out in the wild. As soon as you can do hundreds. You can do hundreds of playtests, but then the game goes out in the wild and it gets thousands of playtests and somebody breaks it. You know, I'm thinking A Few Acres of Snow, I'm thinking other games as well. So I can see the other side of it as well, that games sometimes need to be tweaked and patched, but apparently the expansion patches it a bit more. We will see. We will see. I mean, for me, as I say, I'm used to playing long Civ games. I don't want to be playing Civilization from Avalon Hill or Through the Ages and have swinginess in a game. If I'm playing a game for 5-6 hours, I don't want swinginess, or even 15. Swinginess a game that lasts 90 minutes or so? Yeah, it depends on the game. Playtime as well. That's the other question I'd like to ask. What is the playtime for this game? Because I've seen this game played at my local club and it took them all night. It took them like 3 hours. And people have been saying, oh no, it's a 90-minute game. But every time I've seen it played, it's been 3 hours. So yeah, let me know. Right, let's move on to the next bit. If you are easily pleased like me, you will like these miniatures. And this isn't the first video of this that's been out there, so I'm sure most of you, oh gosh. Yes, there's a smell. There's a smell. I'm sure most of you have seen all of these miniatures before. Bruce is saying the wife and I taught it and played it in 1 to 2 hours. 90 minutes if people know how to play. Even 5-player? Because John's saying it's a 3-hour game with 3. What is your experience on playtime? So, yes, miniatures. Okay, well, let's zoom in a bit more. For those of you that haven't seen these miniatures, because this is how they come. They come pre-painted. Is it gonna focus? Is it gonna focus? Yeah, pre-painted. Multiple different colours. Could do with a wash. As a miniature painter myself, I'm looking at that and thinking, yeah, could do with a wash and a bit of dry brushing. But the detail is pretty good. And we go all the way up to these ones, which is really nice. But yeah, are these miniatures needed? Could they have done the game just with big, chunky, thick pieces of card? They probably could have done. Do these look nice? Yeah, these look really nice. And I like the detail on these. These are quite good. What else have we got? So these presumably are the modern buildings. Yeah, they look like very, very modern buildings. Oh, what's this one? Yeah, okay, well, they look nice. Is that it? Is that the buildings? I think that is it. That is the buildings. Keep losing my foam top. Right, now we've also got these. Let's just zoom out a little bit. So these presumably are player colours. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, these are not player colours. Okay, these must be something else then. But these also look really detailed. So yeah, so I don't know what these are, apart from they're really detailed. So yeah, these are kind of I mean, they look yellow on my screen, but they're a light orange. But these look like huts with straw things on top. Then we've got stone buildings, then we've got brick buildings, and then we've got wooden buildings. So different types of buildings. Each player will have 10 of those. Okay, thank you. There we go. Brett is saying in the chat, if the buildings had a function, you don't think you'd mind. Okay, so these buildings, these are purely just visual. They don't do anything then. That is a shame. You know, if that isn't a space rocket that does space rocket things, then that is a little disappointing. Right, so these are the player colours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, these are the player colours. And again, these are plastic and quite detailed. Right, so I don't know how much this game is, but you certainly get quite a lot of these plastic components. And yeah, these are nicely detailed as well. And the plastic is really good plastic. I know plastic production has changed a lot over the years, but I've got some games from like 10 years ago maybe, and the plastic is just awful. I mean, my original Clash of Cultures that I'll be getting rid of because the new version will be out next year. The plastic in that is just awful. It's really bendy. This is really, really hard plastic, so that's good stuff. What else have we got here? We have some other little plastic counters. So these are good. I think these are the ones that go on the player boards. Yes. And this is why the player boards have got this texture on, is I think, so that these don't slide around as much. Whether it works or not, again, let me know in the chat, because I have yet to experience this. Does this texture work or not? Let me know. Right, apart from these custom dice, that is it. So let's get this put away. I would say I'd go to bed with the rulebook for this tonight, but unfortunately I can't read any other rulebooks at the moment because I'm working on so many other rulebooks for so many other games myself. My brain doesn't have the capacity to read anything else. There is something else that I've forgotten. This. Let's just zoom out again. We've got these. Ah, right. Are these the players then? These are the different factions or whatever that you can play. Okay, so there's quite a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so my next question in the chat, the civs, yeah, my next question in the chat is, have I got the updated version or have I got the original one? How do I know? If you can let me know which one of them has been changed, I can then look at it and find out whether I've got the new version or not. I assume this is not from the first print run, and therefore I assume that they have put those changes in. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But yeah, let me know. And Ziploc bags, which is always good. Right, let's go on to the expansion then. So the expansion is it out? I think it's out, or it's coming out soon. I'm not sure. I don't exactly know. But let's open up the expansion. They didn't update the printed factions, says Tom. Now that's a shame. That's a shame. The newer printing has one sheet that tells you. Okay, well let's just have a quick look at that then. Automa, Shadow Empire variant. Reference guide. Reference guide. Okay, I've not... Wow. Is that the rulebook? Seriously? Okay, right. So that rulebook's not going to take me long. Plans and Plays has the sheet, says Tom. Thank you. Right, here we go then. So that's interesting. Why didn't they update it? I'm sure they've got a reason. So Tapestry, Plans and Ploys. Is this going to be the first of many expansions for the game, or is this going to be just a one-off? Who knows? Who knows indeed. Let's see what you get in there. So we have rulebook. Oh, the rulebook, by the way, has got the same texture as the original game, which is a kind of weird texture, if I'm honest. It's a little unusual. It's a bit plasticky. But yeah, is this it? Civilization adjustments. These adjustments are made at the start of the game, whether you're playing with or without the expansion. No adjustments are made when gaining civilizations. Okay, so I assume then these are the changes. So the Automa and the Shadow Empire. Nick Shaw, friend of mine who lives localish to me. Hello, Nick, if you're watching this. Okay, so there we go. Scenarios. Scenario 1, Scenario 2, Scenario 3, Scenario 4. Scenario 5. Excellent. Right, quite a lot of play on that then. Right. So we have another thing, and this is interesting. This is actually showing rules on here. This replaces the misprinted tile from the first printing. Throw away this tile if yours looks exactly like this. Okay, so there was a misprinted tile in the first edition of the game. Let's do the punch test. Yeah, okay, it's the same. What about the circular counters? Yeah, okay. So these are popping out fine. You can optionally place these tokens on the advancement tracks during setup and remove them as the corresponding landmarks again to show that those landmarks are no longer available. Right, okay. There we go. We have a cloth bag. There you go. Who knows what that's for? We'll find out. Now, what they've done here is they've got a nice insert with a nice little lid and everything else. But if you're like me, you want everything to go in the main box. So what's the point of doing a nice insert unless that insert goes in the main box? Okay, so what have we got here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 10 more sieves. Yeah, is that 10 more sieves? Which is quite a lot for an expansion. How many was in the original game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so 16 in the original game, 10 in the expansion. Now, first thing I've noticed, different card stock. It's not a big problem, but the ones from the expansion, slightly thicker. Are they slightly thicker? I think they're slightly thicker. Barely noticeable. But yeah, so 10 more sieves, that's 26 sieves. That's it. That's a huge amount. That's a huge amount. Yeah, 26 sieves. How can you play test all the possible interactions with cards and 26 sieves? Exactly. Yeah. Cloth bag is for the land tiles, and you can't really fault Jamie on his production values. Yeah. Yeah, so 26 sieves. And some more little plastic buildings, which are totally getting inked, washed, whatever. I mean, I don't want to have to and that one's actually quite nice. If there was a wash on these, I just think they'd look a little bit better. But I must finish painting one project first. So that's nice, nice, nice. So again, nice little buildings, but if they have no impact on the game whatsoever, then they're just nice looking buildings. And in fact, that one, yeah. I do like the design. I like the style of these. I don't know whether these are, it's probably not Andrew Bosley who designed these. It's probably a sculptor. We have some cards, not many cards this time. Okay. And can I get in? Come on. No. I can't, there it is. There is one of those little things, but if you bite your nails like me, it's hard to, there we go, we're in. Okay, so considering the amount of cards in the original game, and considering that there's 10 extra sieves in this game, I'm surprised there's not more of these. Now, that's not a problem. I'm not saying it's a fault. I'm just, well, there's quite a few. Yeah. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to check the colour variations between old and new. Right, okay, so here we go. Because this is quite often a problem. Certainly, what was the last game I played where it was so badly different? Oh, Pillars of the Earth, last week. Yeah, I mean, the expansion I got in English, whereas the German version I got 10 years before. Tyrants of the Underpants, Tyrants of the Underdark. The cards in that were just totally different. In this, well, if you can't tell on camera, I can't tell either. So these look, yeah, if you were to shuffle these together, I don't think you're going to be able to tell the difference. So that's all good. In fact, I've put the wrong ones back in the wrong place, haven't I? There you go. And these, whatever these are. Right, there you go. That is it. So yes, we are done. Thank you very much for joining me. If you've got any other comments, please put them in there now. But yeah, thank you for joining me on your various comments. Let's just have a look at the Facebook group, see what Kirk is there. He's saying there's a, oh, he's clicked a link. I'm going to click that link and see where it takes me. Tapestry Civilization Adjustments Revision 4, Jamie Stegmaier. Okay, so there's a link that Kirk sent me, which is June 2020. Is that the same as what I've got here? Slightly. Yeah, okay. So there is a PDF on the website containing all of that stuff. Yeah, how did the cards match in size? How did the cards match in size? Let's have a look. They're identical. Are they identical? Yep, cards are identical in size. So that's all good. Yeah, size and thickness is another. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Okay, I'm going to do... How do I know they're from the expansion? I want some kind of identifier on the cards. Right, PP. That says PP. So that's from the expansion. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 cards from the expansion, 2 cards from the base game, and I'm going to shuffle them together. Here we go. So size is identical. Okay. However, this is riveting TV, this, isn't it? I'll get an ice cream in a minute. This one feels thicker. That one feels a bit thicker. Okay, these two feel a little thicker. Okay, but I really had to go at it. So let's have a look. Yeah, so the ones from the base game are, for me, they feel a bit more rigid than these. Now, I don't think that's going to be a problem in play because I really had to, you know, really compare them. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem, but good question. And Thomas is saying he loves it when they add icons to separate. Yeah, it's one of the things that I've been pushing CGE to do for years because they didn't used to do it. And I think finally I've persuaded them to do it. So I know Tzolk'in, they didn't do it, but I think Alchemists, they did. Oh, and Mike is saying that you can see and hear me fine. Actually, yes, I should have asked at the start because I have been having microphone issues over the last couple of months with my streaming software. Kirk is also saying 5-player game was 3.5 hours. So yeah, the 90-minute playtime does appear to be, from what people are saying, 2 to 3 players. Whereas if you start going to 4 or 5 players, you are looking at a 3.5 hour game. What does it say on the box? It says 90 to 120 minutes. So yeah, not sure the 90 to 120 minutes is really accurate. I know a lot of times, certainly going back 15 or so years, the time that you would get on the box, you just doubled it because it was completely wrong. These days, I tend to find that times on the box are a little bit more realistic. I mean, the time is usually printed on there for experienced players, and as a games publisher, you don't want to put the game longer than it actually is because it puts people off. So, but you've got to be honest. You have to be honest with people. Brett is saying you're only going to be drawing a few cards from a shared deck throughout the game, so it wouldn't really matter. Yeah, there you go. And Michael is saying Tyrants of the Underpants is a must-buy. Yes, definitely. Go and look up Tyrants of the Underpants online. It's an excellent game. Right, we're done. I'm going to be playing some Tainted Grail tonight. Not live streaming it, but that's what I'm doing this evening. I will be back on Friday. I have 3 live streams on Friday, starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. I've got one at 2 o'clock. For a game that I'm not even allowed to talk about yet, but that's happening on Friday. Then in the afternoon, I think 4 o'clock, we're doing Super Skill Pinball. Me and Rick are going to be learning the game from the rulebook, and we're going to be doing a couple of games of that. And then Friday night, I'm going to be doing a 2-player game of Eclipse, Second Dawn for the Galaxy. So yeah, 3 videos coming on Friday if you are interested. Thank you very much to all of my Patreon supporters for making these videos possible. And that's everything. Yeah, thank you very much again for Thomas for helping me basically test, but we can do it. We can do a test live stream. So yeah, I might be doing some more live streams to the Board Game Revolution Facebook group, depending on what kind of thing you want to see. Yeah, I'm here. I've got the technology to do the live streaming. So if there's something you wanted to see, let me know. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye. Enjoy your evenings or your afternoons, and I'll speak to you all later on. Cheers all.
Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.